si Baivik uli. Namaste. Welcome back to another episode of another beautiful journey. In this journey, we will be heading to Kolailung and learn more about the sugar plantations, the sugar cultivation and jaggery production. So let's head on out. Hello and good morning guys. It's so great to have you on this part of our journey. We are at Gechung right now and it is extremely cold, quite unexpected for us. We didn't expect it to be this cold. But if you look around, the vegetable vendors are out there selling their vegetables for the travelers who pass by this road. And this place where we stand right now is an important junction, because if you look to my left, you will see the road, and this road leads to the districts of Lunglei, Lungtlai and Siaha districts. And if we take this road to my right, we will be reaching our destination for today, which is Kolailung, and also this road leads up to Myanmar. And today we are going to take you on a sugarcane plantation, and we will go about and see how the farmer goes on with their daily lives and how they actually make jaggery, which they sell on the markets of different places in Mizoram. We have decided to make a quick stop at Tuizang, and this where I'm standing right now is the Tuizang Bridge, and it is 60 meters long. And from here I have the most beautiful and perfect view. Just look at that. Ain't that beautiful? This is Tuizang River, and in this river there are thousands of fishes, and these fishes are preserved by the community. And this Tuizang River, as it flows down, drains into and becomes a tributary of the Tuipui River. The fishes here are so awesome to watch, and passers-by throughout the day would throw in some dals and bread to feed them. And right now, I too am going to feed these fishes and see if they are actually true, if the fishes really come together to eat those breads and dals that are thrown out to them. I'm preparing the fish bomb right now. Let's just wait and see. Woo! These are freshwater fishes, and as you can see, they do come to their mama when bread is thrown out to them. This is awesome. You should come and try it out. Welcome to Kolailung village, Mizoram's #1 sugarcane producing area. There are between 500 to 1,000 houses, and 90% of the population are engaged in sugarcane cultivation. And it is also Mizoram's #1 jaggery producer, and they have exported it to several other areas within the state. the very beginning of the actual sugarcane juicing. Now, the sugar, as you can see, the sugar canes are kept into the machine and the machine churns it and the juice flows right out of it. And when these juices come, it flows down these bamboo sticks and there is this filter. Unrequired substances would stick to that and the actual juice flows below the net and they are collected in big vessels or pots. And these are the juices that are then boiled in the stove. Here, they were boiling the sugarcane juice to make jaggery out of it. See, it's getting really warm here, excuse me. So, before, in this, how do I call it? In this hot pan, it's a huge pan, and they had around 300 liters of sugarcane juice. Initially, it reached up to here, but now it's been boiling and boiling, and now it had subsided a little. And earlier, they were putting this so that the pot wouldn't overflow. And now, to keep this from overflowing, they're gonna keep stirring. This is how they stir the sugarcane juice to avoid its overflow. Interesting.
My name is Vanil Shwai. We have a sugarcane plantation. This year is our 7th year. Our peak period of production was in our 2nd year. The peak period usually lasts for 2 to 3 years. We churn the sugarcane using machines with engines. We put the juice in a huge pan. We begin heating the pan from early morning. The reason why we start early in the morning is because we want to repeat the process in the evening. So in the evening, we churn the sugarcane and heat it again till it solidifies. Then we dry the fiber waste under sunlight for a day or two, after which it can be used for fuel. So this means even the fiber wastes are again put into good use. The heating takes roughly 6 hours. That is why we need more firewood. We remove the pan from the flame and stir it after it cools down. After stirring it for a while, we slice it before it becomes solid.
We are at a different farm, and in this farm too, they were just boiling their sugarcane juice. And since the heat is so high, it had started to boil already. And this stage of boiling process, where all the bubbles are formed on the topmost layer, as you can see, this bubble formation is called pulmoy. The stirring process hadn't begun yet, and soon, when the bubbles, more and more bubbles form, and when it rises and about to overflow, that is when the stirring process will start. I am Vanil Peki. I reside in Kholai Lungbunghun. Our sugarcane plantation is 1 hectare wide. We usually weed out the land 3 to 4 times a year. We begin churning from around December, and we use machines powered by engines, which makes our work easier and less time-consuming. Since the time of our ancestors, we've been cutting the sprout. The sprouts are usually the striped, which are in red and blue. As you can see, I'm all teared up right now because of the smoke that had been coming out from the firewood. And I'm here, and this man right beside me is the owner of this farm, and he is stirring, in the stirring process. And now that we have seen how the juices are churned from the machine and onto the vessel, we can enjoy the juices and have a sip of it. Why not? Let's have a good time. Cheers! That is refreshing. And if you want to have a sip of it, come and join us on this journey of ours. You can have your own too. name is Ngur Nunchari. I live in Kolailung, Bunghun. Long before, my forefathers used to churn the sugarcane manually. As time passed, they used cows. But with advancement in technology, now we have used engine-powered machines. It takes about an hour to fill up one huge pan, and this makes work much easier. I am here at one of the farms of Kolailung, and this sugarcane farm is owned by Pironi. And these sugarcane farms would last up to 5 years for harvest. The harvesting is done usually during the dry season or the winter season, because when monsoon arrives, the concentration of the sucrose decreases and it is not as profitable as it is right now. And these places is filled with success stories of sugarcane farmers. And these sugarcanes looks really juicy. Even just by touching at it, I can tell.
I would like to point out the fact that even though we might not be well off as compared to others, our economic status has improved considerably since we began planting sugarcane. As I have mentioned earlier, we've been planting sugarcane since our childhood. Even if there was a time when we did not plant sugarcane, it was not for long. We've been continuously occupied with this sugarcane plantation for years. We've been able to buy paddy fields and build a better house. Sugarcane plantation is a good source of income in Kolailung. We started this plantation at the place where I'm standing in 2016. We've reached our surplus year this time. We've churned around half of our sugar cane. I think we have churned out about 15 quintals from this half. We might be able to produce around 30 quintals in all.
Now they are testing to see whether this huge hot pot could be taken off from the stove or not. In the earlier days, the people who used to make these jaggery used to take the hot pot off the stove and then stir it. But these generation of farmers and sugarcane jaggery producers have taken the initiative to stir it while it is on the stove. And this stirring process is very important for the jaggery production. They're still testing it. If more bubbles come out, that means it is entirely ready to be taken off from the stove. Now, this process of stirring while on the stove comes out from a very interesting story. There was this man who had a sugarcane farm and was boiling his sugarcane juice. There came a cow inside his hut, and while he was shooing the cow away, he wasted his time, and then he came back and started stirring. And he found out that the color and the texture of the jaggery was much finer and much more better than the earlier process that they used to follow. Now he says it is ready. Now let me do it once. If bubbles come out, then it's ready. Oh, sorry. I think it's ready. Let's do it. Oleh, teroleh. Wow. Let me do it again. And this entire room is filled with sweet, sweet aroma. Now, the hot pot had been taken to the side for cool off. And before the final stirring process, while it cools off, the topmost layer of this jaggery solution is scooped up and is kept into these bamboo sticks. Now, these scooped up topmost layer in earlier generations, from the time of our ancestors, had been kept in bamboo sticks like this, and those were used or eaten as toffees by our ancestors. Even my grandmother told me her story. And now, I'm going to demonstrate to you how those toffees are put. And when these toffees are put inside the bamboo sticks, they will change in texture and they will harden just a little bit so that children can enjoy it as their toffee. Plantation of sugarcane is our main occupation. We clear and burn the land and dig pits for planting the sugar canes. When they began to branch out, the surrounding areas are cleared. If it grows well, that makes us happy. We churn the sugar cane at the end of the year. Reaping the harvest of our labor gives us immense joy. We believe that plantation of sugarcane is a good source of income. After waiting for more than 1.5 hours, the cane sugar juice, which had been boiling for 6 full hours the whole morning, has finally started to solidify. Now they're going to stir the solidified cane sugar juice until they get the desired texture and color. And when they do that, this cane sugar will actually turn into its solid form, which can be eaten as jaggery. They are continuously stirring this cane, almost solidified cane sugar juice, and they will keep on stirring until they get the desired texture and color. As you can see, the color is initially black, and these workmen will keep on stirring it until they get their desired greenish or yellow color. When this turns into their desired texture and color, they will leave it to rest. They will cut it and sell it to the market. Now from black, it had turned into a greenish brown color, and the texture is much more solid. And it's done. And while they were stirring it, I could hear their breaths. They were stirring it so hard. And this hard work will be available in the market. Good job, good job. And
we started planting sugarcane in 2015 here in Quang Binh. Sometimes we hired laborers, otherwise me and my wife do all the works because all our children are still in school. Our farm is 4 hectares wide and our plantation covers 1.5 hectares only. I think it proves to be a good occupation even in places other than Kolai Lung. It has a guaranteed market within the state itself. There is no need to export our produce since all of our consumed within the state itself. We are contented with this occupation.
We sugarcane growers of Kolailung have a lot of work put out before us. If they survey the sugarcane plantations in different places, they will find a lot of our contribution. But even though we put in our best efforts, we regret to say that the market is not yet satisfactory. We are aware of the immense help you have rendered to us with marketing, and we feel much obliged. And at the same time, we would like to request you to continue with the good work of helping us with this regard. We have heard that there are many farmers like ourselves who cultivate sugarcane, but the system of our cultivation differs a lot. We wish to experience and see for ourselves the ways other people in different places cultivate sugarcane. In fact, we are waiting and hoping that the government will organize exposure visits for the farmers to let us see the techniques of cultivation applied by farmers of other places. But we have not been on such exposure visits till date.
We've been producing only Jaggery, as we don't really know the ways and means to produce other things out of sugarcane, because we don't know the process. Right now, 90% of the village population are engaged in sugarcane cultivation. And during its peak production period, we face problems with marketing. We process them during the autumn, and those done by the end of autumn are difficult to preserve, as they soon liquefied due to humidity. So we request the government to settle this situation.
khóc mẹ mà ở su cái này thỉnh lang qua chỗ này tụi chùa đàn cắn khóc mẹ